Lovely. First question, please, Peter Lawler.
Morning, Pat. Have you got a team for us? And if you haven't, could you maybe tell us about what's holding up your decisions, what you're thinking?
Morning, Pete. Yeah, don't have an 11 yet. We're pretty sure, but we just want to have another look at the wickets, which we probably won't get the chance today. So, yeah, we'll have a think. Either later this Savo, we'll work out the exact 11 or tomorrow morning. Yeah, probably 2 spinners, 3 quicks. We've got a fair idea what we want to do, but just don't want to make the call too early without fully knowing what the wicket is.
Sorry, just to be clear, you said you're thinking of 2 spinners and 3 quicks?
2 spinners or the 3 quicks.
Right, yeah. Okay, yep. Thanks. Yep.
Yep.
Tom Deason, please.
Hey, Pat. Has this been complicated at all by the fact that sort of that pitch was covered yesterday, there's rain today at training, like under normal circumstances, you'd done it during the summer. Had that clouded your judgment, and sort of what was your thoughts on the first inspection? Looked pretty flat.
Yeah, it's a small factor. I think we're 99% sure what the wicket's going to be, and I don't think it would really change if they chose one of the 2. It probably wouldn't change our 11. So yeah, I think not being able to get down there today just means it's probably 2 days without seeing the wicket between the toss and yesterday's training session. So adds a little bit, but not really. We had a good look at the wicket the last few days. Looks like a good wicket, probably as expected. Not a heap of grass on it. But enough to probably keep it together a little bit. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out, but just looks like a good wicket.
Shahid Hashmi, please.
Morning, Pat. There are 3 frontline players missing from the Pakistan side: Hassan Ali, Fahim Ashraf, and Haris. Do you think they are too depleted to face an experienced Australian side?
I wouldn't say that. No. International cricket, you've got to have a squad of players. I'm sure that would be a big loss. But yeah, it gives other opportunities for other players to step up. I think you saw that throughout the summer in Australia. Someone like Josh Hazlewood missed, and we're able to have Scotty Boland come in, debut, and perform fantastically. So I think it's I'm sure a loss for the Pakistan side, but there's always another guy that can step up.
Moe Shah, please.
Yeah, hello. This is Moe Shah. Now you have seen the wicket. Do you think pacers have something to do earlier on at the start of test or the opening day? Thank you.
Sorry, who had something to do? Did you catch on?
I'm talking about the fast bowlers. Do you think there is something for the fast bowlers earlier on at the Pindy Stadium? Usually we have seen in the past that this pitch helps a bit, pacers a bit, fast bowlers a bit. And you still feel, after looking at the wicket, that this has got something, it will offer some help to fast bowlers?
Yeah, I hope so. As you said, stats seem to favour fast bowlers here. It looks like a good wicket, so I don't think it's going to be a seaming or swinging all over the place. But yeah, I think there'll be enough there. So just bowling on the practice wickets next to the wicket. It's been nice. They're nice to bowl on, so hopefully it's much the same in the middle.
Mel Farrell, please.
Thanks. Hey, Pat. Noticed that Pakistan have had the marble slab that we've seen in Australia that they used to sort of replicate the bounciness of Australian harder pitches. Just wondering, does that, if it means that you, seeing that they're doing that, you might be expecting a reasonable amount of not just bounce but skid off this wicket, particularly with the rain around today?
I don't know. I doubt there'll be as much bounce or as quick as in Australia. It seems okay, but I don't think it'll be a super quick wicket. But yeah, really unknown, to be honest. We'll see how we go. I'm sure that training method's probably just to try and increase the speed of the ball in the nets a bit closer to what you would experience in the game.
Lockie, please.
Hey, Pat. You mentioned at the top that thought process that two spinners is still a bit of an option for you guys. Obviously, Mitch has been biding his time there as the second spinner, but left armers can have a lot of success in Asia. Is there one way or the other you're leaning if you were to go to?
Yeah, I'd probably prefer to keep it quiet. But yeah, I think they're both great options. You know, Swepo as a leg spinner is just a real luxury to have. He's been bowling fantastically. He's ready to go. And similar to Ash Agar, hasn't played a lot of red ball, but he's been fantastic whenever he's played for Australia. I think he's really grown as a bowler in the last couple of years as well. So either of those two are absolutely ready for Test cricket if they get a chance.
Christy Doran, please.
G'day, Pat. Appreciate if you're not a specialist batsman, but what do you want from your batsmen in the subcontinent? Because there's been, obviously you look through the records and there hasn't been too many century makers from an Australian perspective. So do you know what kind of approach you want the batsmen to play with?
Yeah, it's a tough place to bat at times over here. I think one of the unknowns about coming to play here in Pakistan is, it's obviously in the subcontinent, but, and as well looking at that wicket, it's quite a long way away from the really spinny kind of wickets that we might experience where, morning of day one, it's jumping out of footholes. So I think, my message has been, compared to, say, the Ashes series or the last probably 10 test matches we played, this could be a real grind. There could be times where, the scoreboard's only ticking over 2 runs and over. And, for our batting group, we've just got to be able to be prepared to bat. And, there's certain stages where you feel like it's going to speed up, be brave enough to take on those opportunities. But I think all the basics of Test cricket stay the same. There's nothing that I've seen here to think that it's going to be a total different scenario.
Bharat, please.
Thanks, Brian. Hey, Pat. Just for your first away tour as captain, it's been a few days only, but have there been things that you've had to do which you never had to do before, starting with this press conference, but just maybe more meetings or stuff like that?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think. No, not really. Just different conditions. So, whereas, if I was coming over here just as a bowler, you'd like to have a look at, their batters and wickets and what's made me perform well here in the past. But I think as a captain, you just want to have a bit more of a clue around, say, spin bowling and, deeper look into, say, the opposition. But, overall, nothing too different as my role.
Thank you.
Steve Larkin, please.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, Pat. Obviously, you got a test match to win and you're focused on that. But I just wanted to ask about the wider, I guess, picture and the bigger picture of playing in Pakistan again after 24 years and what that means for your team and also the wider cricket world in general. Thanks.
Yeah, I think first of all for our team, we've basically the whole previous generation of Australian teams didn't get to experience Pakistan, so we feel really lucky and fortunate that we're the first team to be back here playing Pakistan. Pakistan as a cricket playing nation is huge. We've been fortunate to play them a lot, so it's great that we're I guess really it's just great that we're playing over here as a test playing nation. I think in terms of a bit of context, this will be a tour I think at the end of our career we'll look back on and think, geez, that was really special. I mean, just as much as anything, the way we've been looked after with the security presence, we'll probably never experience anything like that in our life. So just great life experience, really proud and happy to be experiencing test cricket over here in Pakistan, and hopefully there's plenty more of it in the future.
Luke Duffy, please.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, Pat. Sort of following on from the last one, you mentioned the security there. A lot of talk about security before you guys left.
What's the sort of feeling like over there, and what are the processes been like? Does it feel a lot different from other tours you've experienced?
No, not really. We're either at the ground or at the hotel, but that's not abnormal on some tours, especially in COVID times. I think transport to and from the ground looks a little bit different, but overall it doesn't feel too different. We're really enjoying our setup here in the hotel, and just more than anything else, just excited to play cricket, and that's been the focus, and there's been nothing that's taken us away from that.
Zahid Farouk Malik, please.
Mr. Captain, today's training session cancelled due to the rain. Do you think 2 days of training are enough for the preparation of a test match? And you have seen the wickets and now the rain. There will be moisture on the wicket as well. What will be your strategy? You will avoid to face Shaheen Afridi, or you will go with your fast track?
What was it? Missed the second half of that.
He's asked you about the nature of the attack, which you've answered already.
Training. Look, we feel really ready. Today was going to be an optional training session where probably at least half the squad were going to stay back at the hotel anyway. So not a lot lost there. I'm sure the batters would have gone down and liked another hit, but they've had some really good. The last 2 days have been really long, good training sessions. So everyone's ready to go. Obviously tomorrow morning before the game's another chance for batters to have a hit. We're ready to go. We had a good lead in Melbourne as well. Moisture, be interesting to see that changes anything. I'm sure it'll all be covered, and I don't think it'd be too much of a factor.
We've got 4 more.
As you know, one more question. As you know, all the tickets were sold out within an hour. What will be your message to the cricket fans?
Message to the cricket fans?
So the match is sold out.
Oh, sold out. Yeah, it's great news. I think 3 days is sold out. That's just, fantastic. Test cricket's really special. When it's in front of a packed house, even more so. So, it's great. It's going to be, as much as anything else, with the way COVID has been the last couple of years, we haven't played a lot of packed houses. So it's going to be great. Really exciting. Great experience for us as cricketers.
We've got time for 5 more questions now because, of course, Pakistan have got their press conference coming up. First question, Andrew McGlashan, please.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, Pat. A number of your top order, Marnus, Travis, Cam and Alex, will be playing their first tests in these conditions. How much of a role have the likes of David, Steve and Usman played in the build-up in terms of sharing knowledge? I know no one's played in Pakistan, but just more generally about batting on the subcontinent.
Yeah, they play a huge role. They're really experienced. I've encouraged all the batters to go and speak amongst themselves. It's really collaborative. There's lots of great conversations being had at training and even at the hotel. So you've seen how successful Smithy has been in the subcontinent. Davies hit a few hundreds over here. The more they can lean on them, the better. And I think it's about finding that balance of tweaking your game, but also concentrating on what made them have a great Ashes series or what's made them score runs in the past. So really, really happy with how the batting group's shaping up. They've been working really hard.
Cheers, Pat.
7 Adelaide, please. Channel 7, are you there?
Thanks, Brian. Morning, Pat. I know you've got a lot going on at the moment, but Rod Marsh has been moved to a hospital in Adelaide. Have you been reaching out to his family? How are they coping at the moment, and how are some of the guys in the team? I guess Alex Carey comes to mind. How's he coping at the moment as well?
We've been following from afar, and I think quite a few players and staff members have some, have had really good relationships with Rod in the past. yeah, we're all just, rallying behind him and his family, Roz, and yeah, just I guess obviously wishing him all the best. It's really tough. So it's certainly been a conversation point over here, and just all really rallying around him.
Andrew Ramsey, please.
Oh, thanks, Brian. Hi, Pat. It's probably a bit unusual to have both teams training side by side, centre wicket practice before a test match. Have you been tempted or been looking over your shoulder a bit to see what's going on, and have you been a bit cagey with what your guys have been doing for the same reason?
It's a bit different. Of course, you naturally look across at as much as anything else, the way they go about their training and certain bowlers. So it's been good to get a bit of an eye on, put a face to a name for some of them, but it hasn't really changed the way we've trained at all. It's one of those things you can kind of get caught up in it, but really once the toss goes up and the game starts, it doesn't really make too much of a difference.
Wajahat Kazmi, please. Wajahat, are you there?
Hi, Pat. First of all, wishing you a great tour ahead. This is Australia's first red ball tour of the subcontinent since 27, and you guys have taken a good look around the page as well now. How different it's going to be playing here on the tracks, which are very different from the ones in Australia, especially with the rain factor around for the next few days.
It's probably hard to tell initially. I think when you come over here, you expect less bounce, probably less pace. Something like reverse swing bowling might come into play a bit more. But we've turned up to the subcontinent grounds before and seen really, really spin-friendly wickets. Looking at this one, I think it will spin, but not maybe from morning of day one like we've seen in the past. So just expecting a really good wicket. I think it's going to be hard work at times, but that's the kind of way you want it. In terms of the rain and moisture, I can't see it having too big a factor.
Just finally now, Majid Bhati, please.
Good morning, Pat. On paper, Australian team is much more stronger than Pakistan. And recently, you won Ashes 4-0. Do you think Australian team starts as a favourites?
No idea. Don't really care either way, to be honest. It doesn't really mean much. We know what we've got to do. We feel lucky that we've got a strong squad coming off some really good performances. But it's foreign conditions, so we'll see.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for your patience this morning. I'm sorry we were a couple of minutes late getting on, but thanks so much. Take care and all the best.
Thanks.
Thank you.